Hello, I'm David Chester with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news of some global economic slowdowns. Firstly, in China, growth in their manufacturing sector slowed faster than expected in April as producer price inflation cooled and Beijing's clampdown on the financial sector weighed on demand. Growth in their service sector, however, also slowed, but is still expanding strongly at a similar level we've seen for over a year. But that slowdown is nowhere near the sudden one we have seen in the US. Their economy stumbled during the first months of the year. Consumers reined in spending despite a rise in confidence and despite a rise in equity markets. GDP grew there just 0.7% at an annual rate in the first quarter, the slowest pace of expansion in 3 years. In Europe, inflation is back up to 1.9% and near their policy targets. Not only were energy prices up, but both food and services prices were also rising in this official survey. These levels were higher than markets were expecting. In Australia, the latest filing by Google there shows revenue up strongly to $1.14 billion in 2016 from $500 million in 2015. That's after Australia tightened its anti-avoidance laws. However, declared profits only rose to $16 million from $2.8 million in 2015, the accounts show. These same accounts reveal that the company has had a new tax demand lodged by the ATO, and Google says it will fight it. And staying in Australia, APRA says it's keeping an eye on rising risks in lending for commercial property projects, an area the regulator says has traditionally been the cause of stress in their banking system. Their review found clear evidence of an erosion of standards due to competitive pressures, for example, of lenders justifying a particular underwriting decision not on their own risk appetite and policies, but based on what they understood to be the criteria applied by a competitor. In New York, the US Treasury 10-year yield will start the week unchanged at 2.29%. Oil prices are still slipping lower, however, at just over $49 for the US benchmark, while the Brent benchmark is now just over $52 a barrel. The number of new rigs being brought back into production in the US continues its strong upward growth. They are now back to mid-2015 levels. The gold price is up marginally to $1,266 an ounce, and the New Zealand dollar will open unchanged at 68.7 US cents. On the cross rates, the Kiwi dollar is at 91.7 Aussie cents, and against the euro, 63 euro cents. The TWI is at 73.4. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.